Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're back in the building, we're back in the room, we're back in Stell's room. We're here to check out Stell's Room EP release. Before we get into this, we're going to be checking out Anino, I'm sorry in advance for pronunciations, and Ko Masabi, as well as Classic and the Room stripped version. Obviously, I have heard the and watched and reacted to the MV for Roomed, the single release, and the title track of the EP. So that is in its own separate video. That will not be here. Again, I apologize for pronunciation, but Anino and Ko Masabi, while they have lyric videos, they do not have English captions, and I cannot find videos that are the official kind of audio with English translated lyrics. So I do have on my screen, matchlyric.com has lyric translations for Anino and Ko Masabi. Ko Masabi, I'm really sorry, I'm probably butchering these pronunciations. So I'm going to be referring to them as we go through the music video. That might mean that this video is a lot more choppy than usual, and not just because of my pauses, but because obviously I'll have to be kind of referring back and stuff. But if you guys are excited like I am, oh, pause warning. Before we get into this, I pause, not just because, as I said, it's going to be choppy for that reason, but I do pause to help me process things. I am autistic. I do take a little bit of time to process things and my words. And so, yeah, without any further ado, let's get into Anino. Again, I'm sorry for the pronunciations. Let's go. Room EP. Let's go.
Ako'y nandito
Ooh,
lamang sa tabi mo
I like the chords
kahit
and the softness of Stell's
kailan
voice.
di kita
Ooh.
iwan dahil ang tala ko'y nabiyag ng mata mo pero wala akong anino sa tuwing nahariyan ang liwanag mo at
I'm going to pause there to talk about this so far. I really like the way vocally so far. Obviously, we've got this really soft, intimate arrangement, and Stell's really, really what's the word? Working well with that. I really like the way that he is restraining himself, and what I mean by that, he's got these little moments like with the high notes and the little riff, and he is obviously working with the kind of melody of the chords in the background, and so he's utilizing his voice. However, he's controlling it, and he's really, really, really making it a point to almost intentionally quiet himself. So there's elements there where you could hear him kind of almost want to like reach into a belt, but because obviously the accompaniment is so low and so soft, he refrains from doing that. Now, according to the lyrics for this verse, and again, I don't know how accurate these are, but I'm just going off of what I have, and I'm really sorry. Please correct me in the comments. I would really love any corrections. But the lyrics here talk about being with someone and affirming their Stell's commitment to them, and and kind of talks about how there's a metaphor of a shadow and light. If these lyrics are right, it says, but I don't have a shadow whenever your light is there. Um, Almost that kind of idea of, light, shadow exists where light doesn't touch. Um, is that Lion King? Is that the Lion King? Did I just quote the Lion King? Um, but so he's basically singing about this person being everything, and everywhere. Um, and there's an element of sadness to his voice, and so when he talks, and again, this is the translation, when he says, "I will not leave you," um, and it says, "Because my note is captivated by your eyes," but I'm not sure what I think that may be a mistranslation, so I apologize. But the sadness that I'm kind of, and I might be wrong, but I'm feeling a little bit of like a tinge of sadness in the singing, in the way it's sung. Um, it's almost giving something kind of maybe really serious has happened or something, or a hardship has befallen one or both of the kind of characters in this song. Um, Again, I don't know. We're gonna carry on. Um,
Kahit na ganon pa, anay ay yakapin lamang kita. Huwag nang mag-alala,
ooh,
pagkailan may di na mag-iisa habang
ooh,
buhay kita
ooh.
mamahalin.
That vibrato. Ooh,
Walang hindi ko.
I love. So I'm assuming that was the chorus that we just heard. Again, the way that this is shown on the Match Lyric website, it is kind of organized as verse, chorus, verse two. I like the way that obviously we had the separation between the verse and the chorus, but it's not like we didn't really have any like build up. Like even in ballads and things like that, often, we'll have a moment of kind of tension or something that creates a build up, and then we have like a really kind of powerful chorus, and this was a powerful chorus, but not in that same way. It was tender, and it was, again, indicative of kind of like a really respectful relationship, an intimate relationship, um, between the two characters in this song. Um, Lyrically, and again, apologies for translation. There's an element again where of sadness where um, the translation says, "And even then, I'll just hug you, but don't worry, I'll never be alone again. I'll love you forever." And for me, that kind of gives almost the suggestion of loss. Obviously, before we've had the metaphor of light and shadow, and that could be, and I was talking about hardship earlier. Maybe it could be that the person's ill or something, or is about to pass. Um, and then, this idea of "I'll hug you and then I'll never be alone again." It's almost like that kind of last hug, that last moment, um, where the person's memory is impressioned upon you, um, and kind of the idea of no matter where you go, they will always be with you, um, even if they're not visible or not physically with you. Um, yeah, let's continue.
Kaya para
Again, his delivery is so beautiful.
Kung yun ang bubuhay sa liwanag mo, dala kong pangako
Ooh.
sa'yo na pala siya.
I have to. I cut him off. I cut him off. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. But what I was saying earlier about him kind of restraining himself, I like the way that he could have easily have belted that high note, but instead he went to a falsetto, and then that riff, and I cut it off. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to that. But again, he's showing an incredible awareness of the emotions of this song and really respecting the story of this song. You know, it would be very easy, as I said, for him to just belt the high notes, belt these powerful notes, and he's really controlling and restraining himself. But we're gonna listen to that lovely riff again as well.
Sa'yo na pala siya nagawa sa mga batong pinulsa. Dili ko mang naipong bigat na yung dala-dala kahit
So after I think I paused, he does start to kind of belt a little bit more, but even then, it feels like he is moving away from the mic a little bit. So obviously, depending on like your proximity to the mic is how loud that sound is recorded by the microphone, right? And so it's like it feels like he moves back a little bit, maybe not much, but he moves back almost kind of to allow himself that freedom to, in that moment, and I think he is feeling the emotion to belt a little bit more, because he feels that is what vocally his performance calls for. But again, to keep that from really overpowering anything, I feel like he's in the studio. He stepped back just a little bit, just to just to give that song the space still. This verse seems to talk about, again, it feels like a loss. And honestly, there's an element where it's suggesting, if this translation is right, that there almost feels like not so much a loss maybe of life or anything like that. The lyric here, done with the stones in your pocket, I bring a promise your palace, done with the stones in your pocket, collecting the accumulated weight you carry. It's giving the idea of the loss of a burden and the sharing of a burden between two people. But then the thing that confuses me here is earlier in the verse it says, I'm ready to disappear if that's what lives in your light, which almost suggests that the burden is somewhat caused by the character that Stell is portraying the song from. Again, I'm really sorry if any of these translations are wrong, or I'm just because I'm interpreting based on what I'm hearing plus what I'm reading here. So if there's any disconnect between that, please let me know. I'm really, really sorry. But yeah, let's continue.
na ganun ba manayayakapin lamang kita wag
Again,
nang mag-alala
I love these strings we've got in the background.
di na mag-iisa habang buhay kitang mamahalin.
Ooh, the softness of that high note. Oh, ooh. Oh, this is delivered beautifully. The way I would describe that melody of that vocal, it's almost like a vocal instrumental. The way I would describe that vocal melody is almost like the falling of a leaf. You know, I don't think I got the melody right, but you know, it's that you could almost feel it drifting in the wind. Um, I'm in this song. I'm really I can feel it in my chest. I know I'm not necessarily understanding it, and I know that the translation might not be right, but I'm feeling in my heart Stell's emotion on this song. Um, and I think that's an amazing thing. Yes, I have lyrics, but because obviously I don't know how accurate they are and anything like that, I'm really relying on Stell to deliver me a song through his emotion and through his performance that transcends that language barrier. And I think he's doing an amazing job of that. I'm really feeling, I might not be understanding directly what he's saying, but I'm really feeling it. Oh, I love the way the strings. Oh my god. I'm cutting him off. The way that those notes were delivered. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I need to go back. I expected kind of in my head just autistic pattern recognition there. I thought he was going to go up even higher, and then he didn't, and I kind of really like that he didn't. I love when I hate recognizing patterns in things, and so I love when the pattern is broken. That's just a me thing, but I just need to hear this again. Sorry. I love the way that the strings in the background are almost singing along with him.
Heto ako, bibigyan ng ginang ang pangalan mo. Ang layo ng bawat paghingang ito.
I love the way here he's really freed. Just to let out everything that he's feeling in this moment. And I love the way that the strings and the piano almost sounds like the pianist is really hammering those keys. He or she, they are not just, you know, sitting softly anymore. They are matching the energy, and they are really giving it everything to match Stell's energy. Um, and I love the way that this is built to this point.
Ibigay sa'yo lahat ng magagandang bagay sa mundo.
Ooh, the texture of the accompaniment there. I'm so sorry. The texture of the accompaniment there. Really. I felt it, and I almost felt it like go up my neck, like boom, boom, boom. Um, oh wow, wow, wow. I know this is technically not the opener of the EP, but wow, wow, this could be an opener to the EP if Room wasn't the opener.
Lahat ng magagandang bagay sa mundo. Wala ito, malalim man ang sugat na aking natamo. Walang payag sa kaligtingan ng pagmamahal ko.
Oh, the emotion there.
Tao, kahit mawalan pa ng anino.
I love the rising intonation in the background as Stell's singing. Again, that's what I was meaning when I was talking about a tension point. There's really a build up here that wasn't, you know, existing in the earlier spaces of the song, and I love it. Really heightens the emotional that really heightens the emotional kind of quality.
Kahit nawalan pa ng anino.
Ooh. Oh, and I know I'm cutting him off, and I'm so sorry. I love the way that his voice fades out into that echo. I'm gonna go back just because there was a section there, and I'm so sorry for pausing there. But there was a section I just wanted to talk really quickly about the way that we had all of that build up, and then just I'm blown away. I'm blown away.
At kahit na ganun pa, manayayakapin lamang kita. Wag nang mag-alala, makailan may di na mag-iisa habang buhay kita. Mamahalin kahit di mo batid.
Wow. So starting off really, really strong. Um, I didn't expect to cry in the first song. I didn't, and he got me twice. Um, so is this just based on how kind of the lyrics here and the translation have changed? This again, it could easily be a song about someone who's about to die or something like that. But equally, it feels like if it's not about that, it's about a relationship that's breaking apart for some other reason, and so there's a separation rather. Um, I'm not sure with these lyrics. The translation, I don't want to rely too much on it, so I'm very cautious about referring to it. But my God, the last kind of part of that, like we had that kind of that cry moment. We had that kind of cry moment in the song, and then that last chorus and outro, and I think even the latter part of the bridge, we just had so much emotion in there. I could feel. I don't know how Stell was when he recorded this. But I could see him in my mind at the microphone, literally pouring out every part of his soul. And because you could hear it in the tone and the texture of his voice, there was a real cry out of emotion within it. As I said, I know this isn't the opener. Technically, it's the opener of this reaction here, but this could have stood alone as kind of the EP's opener. I understand why it's not, because Stell wanted Room to be the title track, kind of, I think, to really show off the many sides of Stell kind of thing. But this could have been a title track. And I'm really blown away. I'm floored by everything about this. Rad Kids, Pablo, Josue, you've done it again. A beautiful song, a beautiful song. Again, in the comments, please, if the lyrics were wrong or like way off base or anything, or if there's a better way of explaining them, please feel free to do so in the comments. But yeah, this is a really, really strong opener. This is, I am, I'm clutching. I'm clutching because it really blew me away. Amazing. Okay, so the next song, and again, I'm sorry for my pronunciation, is Ko Masabi. Again, I have the lyrics here from a translation, again from matchlyric.com. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into this.
Di mo lang napapansin, narito itong kaibigan.
This sounds a lot more happier.
Di mo nahahalata, lagi kang tinititigan.
I say that, and the reason I'm pausing is I say that, but I just noticed. So the translation says, "You just don't notice. Here is your friend. You just don't notice. Always staring at you." So this feels like we're gonna be getting a song about unrequited love, a situation where a friend has fallen in love with another friend. But said friend does not know, is not aware, because they only see them as a friend. In my head, I can't help but draw comparisons with Justin's Kai Began, just because of the kind of the thematic link there. But I will say, in terms of tonally, so far musically, this sounds happier. So I'm hoping that we get maybe a happy resolve, or maybe a happier kind of ballady song.
Ilang taon na ring ika'y kasama sa mga pangarap. Pangarap ko sa habang buhay ay tayong dalawa.
Oh, that was a really that was a really beautiful and sensitive way of delivering that line. I like this rising bridge. Ooh, the strings. I'm looking at the lyrics and I could see just the way he's delivering this. In my head, I'm seeing drama scene. And the love interest is standing in front of him. And he's on his knees begging for them to see him. And you can hear the real reach from his voice. Like, I'm here. Like see me. That little riff. I love the accompaniment in this part. I love that the drums don't sound like drums, but they sound like weights, almost like the weight that he's feeling. I'm loving the piano melody here. Yeah, I think I was getting, if the translation here is right, I'm definitely getting this idea of a friend that has fallen in love with their other friend. The other friend is not aware. But it's interesting here. There's the kind of last lyrics of the chorus here. My life is more than just love you. And if you just accept it, but it can't be said what I really feel. Um, he's being consumed by his emotions. And I think it's partially because of the fact, so it's probably started as a little crush, born out of the friendship. But then it feels like because of the amount of time it's taken him to feel confident enough to say it, he's built up a fantasy of this relationship between the two of them. And so this love has turned from a crush into love, but then it's become an all-encompassing love to the point where, and yes, okay, it's a song, it's going to be poetic for effect, but it's become this all-encompassing kind of love that it might even border on obsession at this point, because it's, he's talking about it not being able to be said. But I wonder if it's the case that it's so strong, that even if this person reciprocated, it's kind of like how long until that fantasy would wane away. I wonder. But yeah, I love this. I'm just gonna go back a little bit. I just want to hear this part again. Ooh, that. Oh, that was pretty. I love this instrumentation that we've got going on here. I like the simplicity as well. I'm sorry. I like the simplicity as well of this lyric video. I thought it was going to be a still, but obviously it's not. I like the composition of this, especially if you think about it like as a cohesive story, from Anino to this, in terms of, when you listen to the album, kind of the EP, that kind of thing. It's interesting the use of light and shadow in this shot. I am gonna go back, but I just thought that was a really interesting thought. It's interesting that we've gone back to the bridge refrain section. Did I just hear Kai began? Did I hang on? Okay, never mind. No, I didn't. I'm just hearing things now. Ooh. Even the way that the drums are, I said that they sounded like weights, but there's almost like a reverb on them. So you've got the, but instead of just like a, it's almost like a. It's like the tail end of the drum, kind of almost is reaching out to. Everything in this part of the song is really trying to get this person's attention, like, see me, goddammit, I love this. I love the little grit at the bottom of his voice there. Ooh. I love the change up there. You got the dun 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 dun, and you've got the strings, almost following that rhythm. I love the change up, but obviously, it's already kind of, in terms of a storyline within the song, it's already leading us back to the chorus, musically.
Di karapat-dapat magbago ang pagtuturingan nating dalawa.
Oh, that note. That note was one of those notes that you could just have just had go on forever. And you wouldn't be bored by it. That was, I'll be honest, the translation that I have here, it doesn't translate Dalwa. And I'm really sorry, so I don't know what that means. I was gonna say this bridge here kind of reaffirms what I was thinking about this kind of like all-encompassing love, because it says, I can't accept it. In case your answer is no, it deserves to change. And then our attitude towards Dawa, which I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. But just based on what I kind of can understand, it's giving this idea of, it's giving this kind of thing of, if you say no, I won't let you say no. You will say yes. Because I need you to say yes. And he's really pouring out kind of every sinew of emotion to kind of get this person to, one, see him, but then see him in the way that he sees them. And you know, it's this desperation, I think, maybe because, as I said, he's left it so long, that the relationship is formed in a different way to them than it has to him. I love this simply because I think we've all had someone that we've felt this way about, maybe. And I think it's really that moment where you have to kind of, if you are taking that shot, you have to be ready for them to say no. Because, you know, here, again in the lyrics of the chorus, he says, can't really say what I really feel. So it's like, it feels to me like there's so much kind of pedestaling going on for this person, and so much fantasy that maybe that the character Stell is singing from has kind of created around this. That, yes, there's the kind of literal, I can't really say what I really feel because I'm nervous and stuff like that, but there's also this other side that, because of all of this fantasy and imagining all of this, you know, this process of confessing, that nothing that he says will be good enough, or that will fit the bill, or, you know, will match what he thinks inside and what he feels inside.
Kay tagal na akong
I love the imitation in the piano there,
magtapat.
but it's like it's not fully imitating him. He's just giving him a little bit of a foundation.
Buhay ko ang mahalin ka lang. At kung
I just want to say this. If I'm going to say something controversial right now. If this was Celine Dion, and this was in another language, English or French or whatever, because I'm just thinking because of Celine Dion there, this would be taking over the airwaves. This, you cannot tell me that this song would not and I feel like this is such a heartbreaking thing to say. It's controversial. If this was sung by, you know, the kind of the legendary divas, it would be attributed to them as like another accolade on their belt. I want that for Stell. I want that for Stell because Stell's voice is one of a kind. Stell's voice is so powerful. Stell's voice is just amazing. And I don't think there are many vocalists in this world that even come close to him in how he sounds. But because there's a lack of awareness of who he is, and this is my kind of controversial take, while it should be receiving the acclaim that Celine Dion or Whitney Houston would have gotten, it won't. And that really annoys me because if it was their song, it would get the accolades it would rightly deserve from an international perspective. This is amazing. And I could see him on a stage with a huge orchestra behind him, having his pianist on stage, massive orchestra, huge stage, delivering the song, and it being regarded in the same way that it would be if, say, Celine Dion was singing it, or again Whitney Houston, or someone of that caliber of international acclaim. And so that really annoys me because he deserves to be up there with them. Amazing.
Ngunit hindi nga masabi ang tunay kong nadarama.
Oh, we've got a guitar now?
Masabi ang tunay kong nadarama.
Ooh. Ooh. As a song and a performance, that was delicious. That was no notes. that was Pablo Josue. You've done it again. You have done it again. Oh wait, no, sorry. This was not Pablo and Stell. This was Ryan, and I'm sorry. This is Ryan Kaya. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering his pronunciation of his name. He's the legendary composer that had Stell on stage fairly recently. Oh my god, please ignore me. I'm gonna say Ryan. I don't know you personally, but I'm gonna first name you because I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher your last name. Please tell me in the comments. Ryan, you've done it again. An amazingly written song, beautifully performed by Stell. What an amazing opportunity and achievement for Stell. He's gone from being invited on stage with him and perform with him to having a song written by him and also produced by him. I'm just looking at the credits. Marlo Barnouveau. Again, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. They produced it. Yeah, I go back to what I said. Big stage, Ryan on stage on piano, orchestra behind. I could see it. I can see it. Amazing. Amazing. I'm so sorry for the Pablo and Josue comment there. I'm gonna keep it in because I'm not gonna cut that out. That was my mistake. I was still thinking Anino brain. Because I remembered I looked at the description for that while we were reacting to that. So I apologize. But no, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wow. This album has honestly made me struggle with my words. I know I'm saying words, but I'm really having to think as I'm saying, just because I mean that's why I'm making little mistakes like I just did. It was that was stunning. Um, I I can't. I need a breather, but we don't have time. I must, I must, I must get back into the headspace. Okay, so before we get into this is classic. I believe that this was written by Max. I did quickly kind of just go whoosh through just to see if I could see lyrics in case I needed them. They do look like, just from this kind of quick skim, they do look like they're in English, so I don't need a translation for them anymore. So I closed the translator website thing that I was using. Regardless, I'm so sorry if the translations of the previous songs were inaccurate. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this is classic. I'm curious, shall we say, to see what Max and the other writers was Stell a writer on this? Let's have a look. Stell was a writer on this, so I'm very curious for Max, Stell, and the other writers. Eric Nam is on this. Eric Nam is on this. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. I'm very intrigued to see what we're gonna get with this. Okay, without any further ado, I'm gonna shut up. Let's get into it. I thought it was a breath, but it's drums at the beginning. I like that. This already sounds like a Max song. Like I can hear like it's got that Max quality to it. Yeah.
Whispered conversations late at night underneath the covers.
I like this almost like bell tone and the accompaniment.
You could be here by my side. It will be so right. It will be so right.
Even that, I feel like you can hear the Max, just even in the way he delivers it. You can hear the kind of the Maxism, shall we say? This is definitely a gear change from the previous songs. I'm just thinking in terms of like the order of the tracks. I'm just thinking it's interesting the way that Room and this sandwich Anino and the previous song. Sorry, I don't want to risk mispronouncing the previous song. But do you know what I mean? It's interesting that they're sandwiched between like that. It's interesting.
Whitey and some sneakers, always cool, only perfect features.
Oh, I like that rhyme. That was a cool rhyme.
It's deja vu, 'cause I
I love that so many songwriters have an obsession with the idea of deja vu.
I'm falling and falling for you. Baby, you're a classic.
Oh, I like these like gang vocals we've got.
Gotta have it every day. Sprinkle out the magic.
They're there, but they're kind of turned down. I think. But you've still got that kind of bell. It sounds like the bell's imitating it too. Sorry.
Every day. Sprinkle out the magic.
It's vibey.
Making me feel some type of way. You got me saying,
Ooh. This part, I could hear the Eric Nam influence, I think. I'm not very aware of Eric Nam's music, but yeah.
classic, classic, ooh. Ngayon nais ko ang tulad mo. Wala na nga
I didn't know that there was
sa
Tagalog in this, I apologize.
isipan. It's so
Ooh. I know I can't understand, but I just like the do 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 in the background. I love when the music joins in on like the vocal line in songs.
isipan ko kapag kasama ka. It's so damn fly. I keep falling and falling for you. Baby, you're a classic. Baby.
I feel like this is like a softer, upbeat sister of the previous song. Do you guys get what I mean? Because there's that element of that crush, that and that that affection towards someone, but it's a lot lighter, um, and it doesn't feel like it's necessarily weighing Stell's character down. I'm saying Stell's character because obviously I'm not saying Stell himself. Maybe he feels this way, but the character in the song, kind of thing. That he's the perspective he's singing from, I guess. But it doesn't feel like he's weighed down, and it's almost that kind of that movie kind of feeling, like where the sun's shining and everything's great and the flowers are blooming, and it feels like that, but in a song. And so it feels lighter than the previous song. Oh, I love that kind of ooh section, even though it sounded a little more background vocally heavy. It still had personality. It wasn't because obviously a lot of times background vocals and that kind of type of sound in vocals, they're intentionally flatter. And when I say flatter, I mean in terms of personality, not in terms of being flat on a note. Because obviously the idea is that I'm not talking about Stell's riff in the background. I'm talking specifically about the ooze. Um, but the ooh itself had this element of being in the background, but brought to the front. But it still had an element of personality in the riff, um, which again is something that in a lot of in a lot of in a lot of more like background vocal sounding parts, it would be less of, because obviously the idea of the background vocals is to make the main vocal shine. But I like that moment that feels more like a background vocal moment is kind of allowed to still kind of shine, if that makes sense. I like the almost lo-fi beat in the background in terms of the melodic accompaniment, if not the drums. I feel like that part could have done with like a really Stell riff on the U. Yeah, I definitely feel like that's a sister of the last song, thematically and musically. I really, really like that. I'll be really honest, I don't have as much to say on this. Um, I feel like I think it's a good song. Um, I think for me, I would have preferred like a Stell riff in that falling and falling for you, in that U part. And I'm sorry if I probably butchered that. But the U part, I really would have liked like a riff or something just at the end there. Um, I think musically it was very kind of balanced around a certain area. Whereas kind of you had Anino with the softer rhythm more built up, and kind of the way the last song was kind of more emotional and had different levels in it. I feel like this was more centered musically. Um, I don't feel like anything went too. I think it was a very safe song. Nothing went too kind of experimental or risky musically. And I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. But I think as a palate cleanser, it serves as a good kind of reset. And I think when you think of that, the track list, it makes a lot of sense. Room, Anino, sorry. Where did I get Aquino from? Is that even a word? Um, um, Sorry about that. My PC was messing up. But I think, again, this song was very musically safe. And I think, as a palate cleanser, it really worked to kind of bring the tone to a more light tone, to then go back into Room at the end. I think it's really nice, actually, that Room bookends the entire EP, because we've got Room and then we've got Room, the stripped version that we're going to do next. I think it's very interesting way of almost creating like a cyclical story. So I'll be honest, I'm really looking forward to hearing the stripped version of Room. Just from the teaser, I think it's a great way of, I think it's going to be a great way of ending it. So let's get into Room. I'm excited. Ooh, hang on. Sorry, it was turned down. We're going with strings? Orchestra? Okay. We've gone British, hun, and I'm not mad about it.
As soon as I set foot and try.
We went musical theater with this. This is... Ah! I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love this. Room is about to be taken over by Rune Stripped. You watch. Sorry.
As soon as I set foot and try to make myself alive, I see your eyes, they glued in mine.
Oh, I could see Stell on a stage doing this.
I can get you off my mind, my own mind.
Oh, I love this.
Let's talk about it in my room.
That, with the backing kind of vocals and the panning, hits so much harder when there's the space. And it hits differently, because obviously the main kind of Room version, it's kind of in the accompaniment, but here it's given a little bit more space. Ooh. Ooh.
Come and get inside, let's talk about it in my room. Babe, hope you're ready.
We've got almost like Latin guitar here.
Listen to what I'm about to say.
Oh, the background vocals is like a female vocalist doing say in the
Listen to what I'm about to say.
It might just be Stell, to be fair.
This energy that's within me,
I love this.
damn it, it's so pretty. I see me flow in your body. Picture perfect movie, trembling fills me. I don't wanna end
The strings.
bit of it, 'cause we're not in a hurry. I hate to break it to you, but in this room there's no one living.
The vibe is completely different. Like, it's the same song, like, lyrically, obviously, but the vibe is completely different. And I love the way that they've changed it for this rendition and this stripped kind of version. And I like with the stripped being kind of the focus. A lot of the emphasis really is on the vocal parts, which I feel like, and it's not a bad thing, but obviously with the kind of more up tempo, filled production of the kind of the title track version, it's easy to have lost some things, and again, not a bad thing. I'm more meaning that because obviously if there's lots of things going on, you're like focusing on it. Like when I was reacting to it, you guys all saw like I was struggling very hard to word anything because I was very overwhelmed. But like with this version, you're able to really separate the kind of the layers of the song, and really appreciate them a little bit differently, which I really, really love.
Can you read the room?
What in the ASMR? What in the... No. It is too early for you to... No. No. What do you mean? I can't.
Can you read the room?
Ah!
Can you read the room?
I love that even there where he was like, he was more vocalizing it, there was still that whisper version of the, can you read the room in the background?
I hate to break it to you, but in this room there's no one living. And now you've tried one of a kind.
I really like this accompaniment.
You cry, but I see you smile, but I see...
It's turned from like just a Latin kind of almost influence to... There's elements with strings of like James Bond. We've turned from like... It's Latin James Bond. Hello? Like spy? Like...
You way too high. Hope you come alive. Say the crime if I send shivers down your spine.
Ooh.
I forever bound you and I.
Oh, the delivery on that. Oh my god. Room and Room Stripped are fighting each other for their space in my internal brain ranking.
We don't need that. Let time slow its pace. Way to black us down we're facing.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
The only answer, this energy is within me. We'll never let you escape. Damn it, it's so pretty. I see me flow in your body.
Even the way like there he delivered the word pretty. It sounded pretty. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously he always sounds good, but that sounded pretty. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like everything... This rendition feels like everything is tailored to be appreciated, like each element and each layer.
Picture perfect movie, trampling thrills me. I don't want an ending.
And then we've got like, and there we've got like the almost like the movie sting going underneath it.
Movie trampling thrills me. I don't
Oh,
want an ending. Savor every bit.
I love the blending of all of these elements.
I hate to break it to you, but in this room there's no one living.
I think this part was the teaser.
The room.
I think. I love that. Dong.
Tell me, can you?
Really creates a contrast there. Ooh.
Can you? I hate to break it to you, but in this room there's no one.
Ooh. I know I interrupted his note. We're going back. I picture flamenco dancing to this song.
You, but in this room there's
Tell me you can't see it. Ooh. Ooh. Stell.
no.
Ooh, that vocal flip.
Baby, don't you worry.
Ooh.
Yes, you're here with me. You won't take no
I
hurt.
love the way that sounded different too.
You worry if you'd only let me orchestrate this story. We won't have to leave this room, 'cause I'm your everything.
I feel like that part in the regular version, that's more falsetto sounding, whereas there that felt more mixed. It felt like he was bringing a little bit of more of his chest into that. Oh, I like this. I'll talk about this in a minute. What I'm thinking about this whole thing.
Can you read the room? Read the room. I hate to break it to you, but in this room there's no one living.
That is a perfect way of ending this EP. Perfect way. What I wanted to say really quickly, what I think I like most about this version isn't just the fact that it's a different rendition and a different take, that adds, another element kind of to it. I like that the actual vocal performances in the song and the vocals themselves, they don't just sound like they're the takes that were used for the single version. There were a lot of moments where you could tell he approached it differently, where he, did something different, approached a vocal phrase differently, or, things like that. And I feel like there's a lot of songs where they'll do like a stripped remix or a slowed down remix or whatever it is. And it's basically the same exact vocal takes from the original, whatever version that happened to be, just shoved and crowbarred into kind of this stripped version. So I really like that it feels like there were different takes used, or he performed it or recorded it again in order to approach it differently. And I love the fact that this song has these two different renditions, and that they bookend perfectly the EP. I think in terms of my ranking, I think for this, I think Anino is 1. I think Ko Masabi is 2. I think Room Stripped is 3. Room, the regular version, is 4. And I think Classic is 5 for me. That's just based on these first listens, and obviously the first listen to Room, as well as subsequent listens. Room kind of got lucky being released first. I've heard it many times, but that's kind of my my ranking for this. It doesn't mean that I think any of the songs on the lower end are bad. I think actually what it actually says is the caliber of the songs in this EP are so strong and so good, that even the lower ranked ones are still amazingly performed and amazingly done. Just for me personally, I just think that both Anino and Ko Masabi, and yes, I'm keep looking because I'm terrified of mispronouncing. I think that those two songs are so impeccably written and beautifully written and stunningly, stellarly performed. I had to. That they deserve to be at the top of the ranking. As I said in this reaction, I think the reinterpretation of at the end there with the stripped version of Roomed makes it an entirely different song. And honestly, I love the regular version of Room. I love this slightly more, just a smidge. But it's the songs are all amazing. Yeah, I am. I'm first of all, I know that Stell didn't feel ready in himself, because I've heard or read, either heard or read, I think I might have heard it on TikTok, that the other members had to encourage him to go to kind of pursue solo stuff. But I'm really glad that he did. And this EP, he's backed by a great collection of songs. I was gonna say a repertoire of songs. Does that fit there? We'll say collection for now, just not to get bogged down. But he's really backed up with these songs. They all show a great, I think, many sides to Stell. I really, 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 really liked. I really, really liked this EP. Yeah. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. I would genuinely love love, 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 love to have this conversation with you guys. Amazing. Um, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Um, feel free, as I said, to leave your thoughts down below. And I will see you guys in the next reaction. Bye, everyone. Bye.